Hello students, welcome to the first session for a brand new chapter for 9th standard science, that is the chapter number 13, Why Do We Fall Ill? Now the name of the chapter has a question, that is why do we fall ill? If we use the word ill, ill means a person who is not well. It means that there is some sort of discomfortness in the body. So for that, we have used the term, and the term that we use in our day-to-day life also, that is the disease. So if we dissect the word disease, it means dis and ease. Here ease means the comfort, and the dis means what? The something which is not suitable. So the comfort is not suitable for a particular body. So it means that yes, the body is not in a comfortable zone. So the body is in discomfort. So for that discomfort, we have used the term disease. Dis-ease. Ease means the comfort. So the body is having some sort of disease. So therefore we can say that yes, a person is ill. So if that person is ill, then to whom we can call as a healthy person? So how do we know that yes, a person is healthy or a person is having a good health? So for that, the person should be physically, mentally and socially healthy for calling that person to be a healthy person. Now, a lot of people have some sort of ideology that yes, if they are not having the physical discomfort, then and only then they are said to be the diseased person. But it is not so. For a person to be a healthy, that person should be physically, mentally and socially healthy. The first one, the physically healthy. Physically healthy means the person should walk properly, the organs should function properly. That is said to be the physically healthy. Mentally healthy. Mentally healthy means that person should be able to respond properly. The person should be able to react in an effective way. So that person is said to be a mentally healthy person. That person should know that when to react, when not to react as per the circumstances. So for that person we call it as a mentally healthy person. Then if a person is socially healthy means that person should not be a terrorist. That person should not harm the society. So if a person is having all the three qualities, then yes, definitely we can say that yes, that person is physically, mentally and socially healthy. Then we can say that that person is a healthy person. So here we have defined the two major terms, that is the disease and the healthy or the health. Now if we go in much detail about the health, there are two basic types of the health, that is the personal health and the community health. Now what do we understand by the term personal health? So if we use the term personal in much detail, here personal means our own self. We should be healthy by not only by our nature but from the physical point of view. When we go for bath, we have seen that yes, a lot of people, they come out very fast, but it should not be done so. The bathing should be done in a very effective way. The cleaning of all the organs, the sex organs also, it should be cleaned in a well effective way. No doubt, the brushing of the teeth is also a part of the personal health. One should brush their teeth at least twice a day. So this is the thing in relation to the personal health. What about in case of the community health, that is the public health? The first and the prime most important thing is that the VMC is taking all the garbage from our home. So that is one of the thing in case of the community health. They are collecting the waste from all the places and it is dumped at a particular place. Then it is later on segregated and various processes are later on done. So likewise, one should take care of the personal and the community health. Well, let us go in much detail about this chapter. Well, a school going child has a football match, but the child is facing some sort of discomfortness in the body. The child wants to go to school to play football, but there is some sort of discomfortness. The body is not helping the child to play well. So the child might be having some sort of disease. So by the end of this entire chapter, we'll be able to define health and the disease. We'll be able to classify numerous diseases, describe the causes of the diseases, listing the names of various infectious agents, explain the mode of entry of the microbes that decides the site of manifestation within an organ, that is, the organ that gets damaged during a particular disease. Describe the effects of the microbe on the target organ and describe the disease, that is the AIDS. So these all things will be able to study at the end of this very good interesting chapter. So let us go in much detail of it. Well, if we observe in our day-to-day life, there are numerous microbes that are highly invisible to us, and these microbes, when enter, they affect the health. So what is this health? It is a state of physical, mental and social well-being. Here, physical well-being means the person should not have any sort of disease. Basically, an unhealthy condition caused by the microorganisms as well as by some sort of improper diet, or the disease is also inherited, that is by the inheritance, that is from the parents to the next generation. So disease basically means being uncomfortable. So functioning of the organ system mainly deteriorates. So the functions do not, or the body organs do not functions in a much proper way. There might be some sort of headache, some sort of coughing, loose motions, as well as the wound with the pus, with various other abnormalities that happens when you get a disease. So what will happen when a person is diseased? Well, there are a lot of symptoms which a person gets at the time of having the disease. Here the child is having a lot of diseases, but is unable to find out that which disease the child is actually having. He wants to play and having a ball in the game, but is unable to do so. So he goes to the doctor and the doctor advises these prescriptions, that is takes the blood test as well as the blood pressure. So based on that, there are various types of the diseases. So diseases are classified on the basis of the prevalence, that is the presence, the occurrence and the duration. Well, based on the presence and the absence, that is based on the prevalence, there are the endemics. Endemics means the diseases which spread out very fast. Well, we are now going through one more major pandemic, that is about the coronavirus, which we are facing on, and that is terrible thing. Well, based on the occurrence and the speed, there are two basic types, the infectious disease and the non-infectious diseases. So the diseases which spread from one person to the other, they are said to be the infectious, and the diseases which do not spread from one person to the other, they are said to be the non-infectious diseases. So infectious diseases are caused by microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, fungi, and the protozoa. Well, they have the tendency to disturb and spread from one person to the other. It can spread by various means, by wind, by water, by handshake, as well as by the bite of the mosquito also. So there are various ways with which the infectious diseases are spread. But the non-infectious disease, they do not spread from one person to the other, just as the lung infection. If a person is having the lung infection, then it might not be spread. That is a nutritional deficiency. So it will not be spreading from one person to the other. And it will not be spreading in the other members of the family also. So these are the various non-infectious diseases. Further, based on the duration, there are the acute and the chronic diseases. The acute diseases are the diseases that last for a short period of time, and they are said to be the acute diseases, just like the cough, the cold, sneezing. So these are the various diseases that takes place for a very short period of time. And the chronic diseases, they last for the lifetime also, that is months, years, and take a very long time, just as the elephantiasis, the diabetes also. Furthermore, here the child is having the running nose. So the disease is based on the duration also. And the child can only go to play if and only if the child goes to the doctor and have some sort of the prescription. Now let us understand the causes of the diseases. Here a child is there. That small child is having some sort of abnormality. As for example, the child is doing some sort of vomiting. So let us find out that why the child is vomiting. There might be a lot of reasons. The microbes might have entered inside the body. Now how the microbes have entered inside the body? There might be some sort of bacterial infection also. Well, if the microbes have entered, that is by the bacterial infection, these microbes might have entered by means of the food, by means of the water. So if it is so, then a lot of bacteria might be present in case of the food as well as in case of the water also. So these are the various causes of the diseases, that yes, the child might be having the bacterial infection due to the food supply that is given to it, as well as the poor nourishment, the poor quality of the food if it is given to the child. That also might be one of the causes for the disease. So why the child is getting poor quality of food? Well, there might be a poverty which has a huge role to play, or some sort of genetic abnormalities might be there. Further, so the diseases which spread from one person to the other. So there are certain agents which spread the diseases, and they are said to be the infectious agents. The bacteria, the viruses, numerous fungi, the protozoa and the worms. These are the infectious agents. They are responsible for the infection and bring about a lot of abnormalities in the body. They absorb the digested food from the host, and therefore they cause the discomfort, that is the disease. These are very small microbes, so they can be only visible under the microbe, or I should say the microscope. Bacteria, they are very microscopic, and there are numerous bacteria which cause the respective diseases, just as the typhoid, the cholera, the tuberculosis, and the anthrax. These are the various diseases which are caused by the bacteria. There are a lot of infectious agents which cause some sort of acne on the face. That is the bacteria which causes the pimples on the face. Well, there are certain viruses, if we focus on, they are highly microscopic. So it can be only visible under the electron microscope. Just as the coronavirus, it is very minute. And these viruses, they have the tendency to cause the diseases such as the influenza, the dengue fever, and the AIDS also. And they have the tendency to enter the cells of our body, and they cause acute respiratory syndrome. Just as the coronavirus, it affects the respiratory system. Furthermore, they are highly microscopic, and in case of the fungi also can be only observed under a superpowered microscope. It causes diseases like the skin infections. So there might be some sort of itching sensation which is prevalent for a very long period of time. Same case for the protozoa also. It is also highly microscopic in nature, and it might enter the body of an organism by means of the food or water. Just as leishmania, it causes a Kala Azar disease, directly affecting numerous parts of our body, and especially the lungs and the liver. The trypanosoma, it gives rise to some sort of fever in the body, and a high ordered fever, which is prevalent for a very long period of time. Furthermore, focusing on the worms, these worms, they have certain sort of hooks or suckers like structures, which when they enter inside the body, they attach to our body and take up all the nutritious substances of our body, which is useful for us, and cause intestinal infections and elephantiasis. Well, that was about the entire thing in relation to the health, the diseases, the various types of the agents which are responsible for the diseases, the infectious agents, the non-infectious agents also. Well, in the next class, we shall discuss in much detail about the other aspects of this chapter. Thank you very much.